Time and time again, we give Disney Star Wars a chance, hoping the writers and executive producers will learn from past mistakes and just give fans what we want. Stories that are accurate to source material and fulfilling. But every time a new project starts to sound good with Star Wars, we get interviews like this. We're now finding out that Obi-Wan is probably going to be another giant nostalgia bait and switch because Kathleen Kennedy did an interview talking about how she scrapped scripts because they were too bleak. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider supporting the channel in becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon or supporting via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So, this is a tweet that I initially saw from IGN, and it says, Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy reveals that the original Obi-Wan Kenobi scripts were scrapped in favor of something more hopeful and uplifting. Now, I have a lot of problems with Kathleen Kennedy. I do not really like Kathleen Kennedy. I've put up several videos voicing my problems with Kathleen Kennedy, and she makes statements like this. She admits things like this that make me not trust any project she's affiliated with. And obviously, she is the Lucasfilm boss, so she has a big reason why we're getting shows like Obi-Wan. But at the same time, if we're getting content that just ruins all of the previous content we've gotten, it's not worth it. This IGN article says original Obi-Wan Kenobi scripts were too bleak and production was halted during a swift rewrite. We had actually heard about this, that they were halting production. I believe they halted it for 3 months while they were trying to rewrite the scripts. We didn't know what they were rewriting and what they were changing, but we did know that they were halting production for a little while. It says, after the events of Revenge of the Sith, it looks as though Obi-Wan Kenobi is in a bad place. His fellow Jedi have been hunted and killed, and those who survived were driven into hiding. But it could have got a lot worse. During an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy revealed that the original Obi-Wan Kenobi scripts were scrapped because they were just too bleak. We're looking ultimately to make a hopeful, uplifting story, she explained. It's tricky when you're starting with a character in that state that Obi-Wan would be coming off of in Revenge of the Sith. That's a pretty bleak period of time. You can't just wave the magic wand with any writer and arrive at a story that necessarily reflects what you want to feel. Now, I understand that she's the one who pushed the idea of the show and had a big part in getting these actors back together, and it's awesome to see Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor back together. This is an absolutely fantastic idea. But she's also the person who's caused so much Star Wars content to be terrible. She's not only ruining Star Wars with the narratives she's forcing into the franchise, but also with the mediocre and inaccurate stories she's greenlighting. At the end of the day, yes, a major part of Star Wars has always been hope and trusting in good to beat evil, but this time frame doesn't have a lot of positivity to it. It's supposed to be pretty bleak. At the end of the day, yes, a major part of Star Wars is hope and trusting in good to beat evil, and that's what really makes you feel the magic of Star Wars, but this time frame doesn't have a lot of positivity to it. It's supposed to be pretty bleak. The Inquisitors are executing the Great Jedi Purge, Vader and Palpatine are ruling the galaxy. There isn't a lot to be hopeful for. I know they're marketing this as Obi-Wan and Vader meet in battle. We've heard that there might even be 2 fights between them in this series, but clearly Vader isn't the only villain, which is the way that they're presenting it so far with the trailers and all of the discussions about the series. Probably because they know we don't want to see Inquisitors for 90% of the show because, yes, they're powerful, but they're nothing compared to a Vader or an Obi-Wan. It says, worried about the direction of the upcoming series, Kennedy decided to halt production in favor of a rewrite. Now, this could be good or it could be terrible because maybe the original idea that they were running with was better than what this rewrite is going to give us. I do hope that this show is good. I'm personally looking forward to it. I really love these actors and the way that they've portrayed these characters. I really want this to be good. But unfortunately, it is hard to trust in Kathleen Kennedy, in Lucasfilm, in these writers because they've given us so much bad content. The sequel trilogy was absolutely awful. The Book of Boba Fett wasn't great. The Mandalorian also was iffy. It had its moments that were really, really great and really awesome, but it also had those moments where it just dragged on. And for a show with only 8 episodes, you'd think that all of it would matter, but a lot of it was just filler content. Unfortunately, we've also gotten movies like Solo: A Soy Wars Story. So yes, I want to be excited. I really hope that this comes out and I hope that it's amazing because it's probably going to be the last time we see these actors together. But I also don't really trust Lucasfilm at this point. And I also wanted to head on over to Twitter to just show some of the responses because a lot of people are also very worried. Somebody posted, second verse, same as the first, and it's a picture of Disney with some nostalgia bait screwing fans over. This is what they've done time and time again. I haven't seen a more accurate image about Star Wars fans in a while. Somebody said, oh god, why is she still here? And again, I understand that she's the one greenlighting these series, but we do not want these series if they're just going to screw around with these characters. Somebody said the scripts were too bleak. This is coming from Kathleen Kennedy. That woman does not like Star Wars and has always had her own ideas and agendas on what should be incorporated in it. I'm excited for Kenobi, but her heavy involvement is something to be worried about. Yes, I 100% agree with this statement. We should be worried. I wouldn't trust her to tell me the time, much less her opinion on the script quality. It's so true. She doesn't know Star Wars. She doesn't understand Star Wars, and the worst part about that is she doesn't understand the fans and what we really want, the stories that we really want. People have also been roasting the Inquisitors, and I agree with the male Inquisitor. I think that he looks terrible, but I don't think that Reva, the Inquisitor played by Moses Ingram, looks that bad. I think that she's a great actress. She was in, like, The Queen's Gambit, and I'm hoping that she'll do a good job in this show. But I'd also like to make a quick guess here. In the canon, the Inquisitors have always been labeled brother or sister, denoting their sexes, and I will make a guess now that they'll probably ignore that and just call them Inquisitors because it's gender neutral, which is something Lucasfilm loves to do now, and because Kathleen Kennedy is so heavily involved in this project, I bet we will not hear the Inquisitors once be called brother or sister. We'll see. I'd like to be wrong, but I just have that sneaking suspicion that's what they'll do. I hope that this show comes out. I hope it's really good, but it is very worrying when you hear Kathleen Kennedy admitting that she scrapped scripts because they were too bleak. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.